Okay, to be completely honest with you folks, I've never seen Fast or Furious. That's not a movie series I've ever been interested in, so I can't make jokes there. But that's okay, because today's deck is no joke. YouTube, it's your boy, the Ep6. Alright, welcome you back to the 100 Days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where every day for 100 days, we're doing with a different deck every single day. Today is day number 6, and we have a very interesting challenge today, courtesy of Mr. Eric Breeze, who asked me to take a look at a deck based on family, as in, like, my own. So normally this is something I wouldn't do because it's, like, very personal, but it's the final season 100 days. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So basically, this boils down to picking monsters and spells and things of that nature that remind me of my family and things of that nature. So basically what that boils down for myself personally, we got a lot of infinitrack, a little bit of kuribohs, and the Orion the Battle King. Yes, this definitely reminds me of someone in my family. So it's a very silly deck. It's not the most competitively powerful thing, but that's okay. You know, tomorrow's deck's going to be very much closer to more of a competitively viable thing. So let's have ourselves a good old fun time today with a very silly deck that really could be anybody. You know, it could be based on anybody, family. I don't know, man. But that's what my family looked like to me. This is the face of family to me. So we're going to be going into EDO Pro. We're going to show off this deck, show off the combos and the wombos, the what do's and the what not do's, and have ourselves a good old time. So let's get right into the action. Let's show off this deck profile at the end. I'll hit all the buttons, etc., etc. Y'all know this routine. So let's get into the action. Show off what this baby can do. Alrighty, everybody. Our first opponent of the day in another card game. Our deck can go first or second. It's one of those decks that can do either or. It really doesn't matter that much. It's all just about the family. Gotta keep the family strong and together. What are we up against? Battlewasp? Okay. Battlewasp it is. Okay. Battlewasp, they're usually combined with things like beat troopers, so I always forget exactly what the Battlewasp ultimate boss even does. I know, like, Pin the Bullseye, he's like the most powerful one. That's all I really remember about them. But okay, I mean, they're not just discount, you know, insect version of Black Winds. They can do some stuff. Okay, but let's look at our hand. What are we up to? At the moment, we have a pretty decent opening hand. I've got my Anchor Drill, so that's me get another normal summon. I got Dozer, who's part of our main sort of play for all the infinitrack stuff. We got Heavy Forward. That's our Searcher. Got my Instant Fusion. I can bring out the Musician King. So, other than that, we also have Crackdown. Y'all might wonder why this is a deck about families, because it's about bringing the family together, you know? And sometimes we have to drag extended family over to our side of the board. So it fits. Anyway, so, yeah, pretty much we're just going to sit through this for a minute. I'm not going to let y'all sit through all of it. But I just want to say, we're up against Beat Troopers. We got ourselves a hand. We can do some stuff with this hand. It's just going to come down to what is our opponent going to end on. That's the most important thing here. All right, my opponent has finally finished his turn. He summoned out this behemoth of a bug. It's going to be a bit of an uphill battle. But I think I can make it. All depends on what this face down is, really. That's the most important part. So let's go ahead and activate our Heavy Forward. Get ourselves another infinitrack monster. And we're going to go ahead. Since I already have Dozer, I'm going to get Harvester. I think Harvester will work just fine here. And we're going to go ahead and summon out our infinitrack Anchor Drill. When this guy gets normal or special, I can summon another infinitrack from the hand. It's pretty nice. We'll get out a Harvester boy. And he's going to search us another monster. This is going to be like our mainstay in this deck today. You know, we do a lot of infinitrack stuff with this one. So now that we've done that, thinking. I'm going to activate Instafuse right quick. Just so I can make, because if I go into the Dozer, this won't work. I can summon forth my horribly mangled copy of Musician King. Because he's all part of the family. That's far we're gonna go. So we got Musician King. He'll be part of some Exceed Boy at some point. But Dozer and our Road the Roller both are gonna go off. We're gonna have lots of monsters. Now we're up with Synchros versus Exceeds here. Let's see. So my effects are negated. Yeah. So I don't need to go for... I would like to go for Crab Train, but no, that's not gonna work here. So I'm thinking Tunneler, just to have that, like, prepared. I think that'll work just fine. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is... a lot of things I can do here. A lot of things here we can get done. So let's go ahead, Magician King and Road Roller. We're going to summon out our big boy, infinitrack River Stormer. He's our big boy. So we're going to attach material from our big boy. You want to keep the Road Roller on because it's making my opponent's monsters go into defense mode. And we're going to go ahead and add Crab Train. That way I can do the whole combo with that as well to give my Exceeds a little bit of protection. Just a little bit. And I probably should have... I should have linked off there first, but that's okay. Not a big deal if we miss one play or two. You know, not every family's perfect. And today, our family's just about, you know, get out the Crab Train. Get the extension to give us a little bit of protection on our monsters. This makes it so I can't be targeted, and it's really useful. So I'll go for our Outrigger extension, and we're going to go ahead and see... Yeah. Activate Anchor Drill's effect. We're going to go ahead and target Brutal Dozer. Doesn't really matter who we go for here. Just to get a couple level 9s, so I can go into my big bossy boy. Earth Slicer is the biggest boy. Alright, let's see... Any number of cards, destroy that many number of cards. And this only works if it's destroyed by, like, card effects. So what I can do here, unless I'm mistaken, is pop his back row. I don't trust this back row. Activate some monster B. I knew there'd be B-troops in here somewhere. There always are in an infinitrack, or not infinitrack, but a Battlewasp. So one thing I do want to try and do here is use my Outrigger extension on my River Stormer. Unless I'm mistaken, this is still going to keep my... Yeah, that still keeps up the effect, which is important. Very important. So, before I end my turn, which I need to hurry up because I'm running very low on time, I give myself a little less time today, but that's okay. Just going to go ahead and make myself bigger, and I'm going to go in battle phase for now. I do have another combo here involving tributing Goliath to bring back Stormer, and I can put, like, Goliath on a monster. But that's not important right now. What is important is I stole my opponent's stuff, so now his family is my family. Kind of how, like, marriage works, but with more heavy machinery and violence. Which, I imagine that was something during the revolution, but, you know, don't worry about that. Anyway, we're going to hit our opponent pretty dang hard. And if I can wing it real darn quick, I'm going to bring out my boy here. And we'll put this on Smasher just so I have that... I want as much protection on this guy as possible. Because he's the one making my opponent's monsters in defense mode. But yeah, this is the family plan right now. Is infinitracks. We do, of course, have other things as well. We have the Kuriboh line, which does mesh perfectly well with what infinitrack does. A lot of level 5s in here. We run the, 5-star Twilight. So it works pretty dang good. At the very least, we got the machines and we got the Musician King. Which is, if y'all were curious, that's like Carter represents my brother. He's a musician man. I would call him the king of musicians personally, but that's me. That's me. So what is this guy doing? Summoning Swarm. Summoning, 3 monsters. Ooh, that's bad. That's a lot of monsters. That's a lot of cards. There's a lot of cards indeed. Alright. So you can summon out 3 bees. He's gonna be summoning out that pin the bullseye for sure. Or not. Their effects aren't negated, are they? Dang, they are not negated. So he does get a search. I think he only gets the 1 search, though, so that's good. Does Twin Bow do anything? I don't think it does, no. He does not. That does, though. Rapier the Onslaught. That guy must be a real hoot at parties, I'm gonna tell you. Let's see. Discard an insect, being another Twin Bow. Get the wind. And then you get another bug. Okay. I mean, I've got a good old crackdown here. I'm pretty set. You know, gotta sometimes drag in your family members. That's the whole point of crackdown be. It really just depends on, like, what synchro they go into. You know, that's gonna be the big thing. That if they... I mean, oh, wait. Yeah, you can summon anything. I was about to say, is he locked to synchros? No, he could summon a link. So that would be... What's his face? B-Trooper Atlas. Quite possibly the play to go for here. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, he is going to go for some B-Trooper stuff. That's what I was expecting you to do, though. Just trying to remember exactly. I think Atlas can't be targeted or something, which if that's the case, that is going to be a slight issue. But thankfully, Earth Slicer is bigger than Atlas is. And so is Mountain Smasher, so that's good. I'm all pretty set at the moment. My opponent's going to definitely try to go for that Atlas, because anything else he tries to go for won't work here. Anything else will not be able to stand for this heavy machinery. Good old Throw the Roller is just kind of rolling on in there, stop my opponent from having attack mode beast. Which is kind of, you know, that's kind of the plan with Road Rollers, to have my opponent put his stuff in, or have him put his stuff on the board. Let's see. I was not allowed to chain Crackdown to that for some reason. I was kind of hoping to chain that, but it's not letting me do that. Alright. It has to have 3,000 or less attack, though. Okay. So, we're going to have to hope that he uses the effect of Atlas, which would allow him to make this thing 5,000. But if he does that, I can target it again. Assuming that he's going to not boost this thing in some way. Alright. Go for Sting the Lance. Okay. Cool. Gonna go for another B-Trooper spell trap. Which is gonna be this thing, giving you a token. Destroying a spell trap on the board. Huh. I mean, that's certainly annoying for certain. I imagine he's going after my face down here. But this is still only 3,000. You got rid of heavy forward. Why would you get rid of heavy forward? That doesn't do anything. I mean, yeah, I could have put that as a material on my boys, but I didn't, so... I think he meant to hit Outrigger extension, but I'm not 100% sure. Hard to say, indeed. But my opponent's just about out of time here. My boy, you're thinking too hard. You gotta do something, man. You're out of time. Straight up out of time here. Okay? So, yeah. Unfortunately, my opponent has ran out of time, but I'm pretty sure I had him there. My monster's bigger than theirs, and even if he did summon something big, I could have stolen most monsters and just completely wiped out his advantage. So, I'll call that a win. It's not the cleanest win in the world, but we showed up what our deck is about. The deck is about family, and dang it, our family just rolled on in there. So, good for first duel. Let's go for duel number 2. Hopefully show off, like, the rest of the family, like the Kuribohs, the Ryan, the Battle King. Very important member of the family, that one. Very important. So, let's go for duel number 2. Show off more what this deck can do. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go and do it again. Come on, family, let's get on into it. All right, we're going second. Not ideal, but opening hand's not terrible. I mean, I've got Anchor Drill, Trencher, Drozer. I've got the Scapegoat. We're up against the Exodia stuff, which is not necessarily good. Not necessarily my favorite thing to be up against, solely because they have, like, field nukes and things. And that is also annoying. Okay, it's one of them locky downy Exodies. I see. Not a big fan of this, but we'll see. I don't know. That's going to be a rough one to go up against. Because he's going to get the trap that, like, nukes my board. For certain. For certain. And the one thing I did not run, because it had nothing to do with family or anything, is like Cyber and Dragon. Which would have been cool. Let's see. This card battles. This guy gets attacked. Easy life points. Yes. I can't attack. Right? I can't use spells unless I have a spellcaster, which I don't have any. So that's not ideal. But regardless, we'll use our boy here. We'll go for Ye Olden Trencher. If he nukes me, I'm just kind of dead to rights. So that's just kind of how it goes. Yep. The minute I even attempt to start. However, sir, I'm not quite done, because you played that way too quickly. You just went off a little too fast there. Alright, so now what we're going to do is... Yeah, Brutal Dozer, do your thing. I really want to go into somebody else, but I think Exodia and Ash on top of everything too. Ugh, what an obnoxious deck. Don't you just hate it when your opponent just doesn't let you play? That's like the worst kind of deck to play up against. Alright, well, that just means another Exodo Flame. I mean, that's how Exodia plays. I'm fine with this. I'm almost fine with that. This I can't stand. This, it's like, whatever. You summon another one of these? Have you ever heard of something called Excessive Force, sir? Alright, well, unfortunately, yeah, that's going to be game, because I don't think that's once per turn. It's like per copy, yeah, so he's going to make these both 7,000 attack points, and that's just going to be game, unfortunately. That is a drag and a half. That's a drag and a half, because that had nothing to do with our deck not working. That was just my opponent playing, like, all the stun lock in the world. Spell Trap Negation, Spell No Loudy. Oh, that is a once per turn. Never mind, I'm not dead just yet. I mean, I'm going to be, because there's, like, nothing I can do with this hand. Regrettably. Unless I drew into Kuriboh. If I drew into Kuriboh, that's not Kuriboh. That's not Kuriboh at all. Well, that is unfortunate. Unfortunately, that. But you know what? At the very least, if my opponent allows it, I will go out on my own terms. Will they allow that? I have some doubts, but we'll find out in a minute. So, yeah, regrettable this, but we still have time for one more duel. And I do want to see, like, the ultimate combination of this deck with the infinitracks and the kuriboh. So let's go for our third duel, pick ourselves back up, and espouse the power of family. All right, everybody, the third and final opponent, the fighting third. Last chance at romance. Can we get the kuriboh combo? That's what I really want to see. I pulled it off on stream the other day. It's really fun when it goes off. Okay, maybe. We also have Orion the Battle King. Alright, so it is our turn first, so that's good. Let's bait out things with Harvester. Harvester, very good card to bait out, like Imperms, Ash Blossom, Effect Veiler, everything like that. So that's good. That will work just fine. Alright, let's tribute off Harvester, go for our Tunneler, and we're going to activate the 5-star Twilight. It's all about family. And this is the part where my family comes to the board in the form of hairy ball monsters. That's what we like to see. And then next turn I can get another, like, you know, another infinitrack tracker. I'll be set for days. We'll be pretty set. So yeah. It's just a silly little combo. It's a silly deck. A lot of silly cards in it. And this is the silliest combo. You know, it's standard Kuriboh fare. But, you know, some decks still have trouble with Avramax. Not a lot of them, but some of them do. You know, let's do forward now. Seeing as, like, Ash has been triggered and all that, let's just get ourselves a Harvester for later. I wish I had my normal summon. I could tribute, you know, that'll be next turn. Next turn, we'll summon Orion the Battle King. Oh, he's what was it said? None have lived to tell tales of him. Or her, or whatever. It's meant to represent my sister, but don't tell her that I said that. But yes, we got the unbeatable monster. We don't know anything about her, but we know she's very powerful. Yeah, it's a very silly deck, and it's a fun concept to go for a deck. You know, everyone's take on this would be different. You know, everybody's would be different. So, it's kind of the thing. I wouldn't want to ask people like, what would they put in this deck, because that's a very personal thing. But I'm kind of curious. If anyone wants to let me know in the comments, like, what monsters would you put into a deck based on your family? You don't need to go into great detail or anything, because obviously that's personal stuff. I don't want to hear that. But if you wanted to say, oh, my dad is Steel Star Regulator, or my second cousin is in this deck, and that's a Corno. Or I have an edgy cousin, and he's Alistair the Invoker. That'd be cool to hear. Okay, so we're up against Alistair the Invoker Boy, which could be tricky to deal with, actually. Hard to say. Because I can't be destroyed by card effects and stuff. But if he goes for Mechaba, that is a tricky business. That is a tricky business. Yeah, because he'll go for Mechaba. That's how that's a negate to him. And if he gets Alistair back, oh boy. This is one of those things that can, in fact, do away with my Mech Knight Aftermax, which I don't like. I don't like that at all. I am not a fan of this thing. Alright. I mean, I have to use... Never mind. Okay, my opponent did nothing. What on earth? Okay. I guess I'll just summon out Harvester and do my combo then. If any of you want mained, I'll be doing that. Hey, I'm very surprised he negated that, but okay. Well, seeing as it's still my turn and stuff, I'm gonna activate Un for Un. I'm sorry, sis. But I need your, I guess this will be my brother-in-law today? I don't know, it's a weird thing. Hey, don't matter. Anyway, I'm just gonna beat over Mechaba now. Now that my opponent has wasted his negate, I might as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and boost myself by a fat 2,500. He can go up by 1,000, but that's not gonna be enough. Uh-huh. And I'm pretty much... What has he got? Evenly matched? That wouldn't work. You have cards. Don't try to pretend like you have evenly matched. I know how evenly matched works. I haven't played the card in years, but I remember how it works. Alright, but we're not out of the woods by a long shot. Because Mechaba is like the bread and butter of Invoked plays. He definitely has at least one more of this. If not two. Alright, Invocation numero dos. Luckily, I'm not playing a lot of light monsters, so there's not much he can banish from my graveyard. Oh wait, he could banish Orion the Battle King. He wouldn't dare. He might. I don't know. That's the thing about Invocation. That was really annoying when it first came out, is that you could banish your opponent's stuff in order to use it. It was really annoying when you're trying to set up the grave. Your opponent's like, yeah, that monster in your graveyard, it's gonna look really nice as fusion material for my monster. Alright, let's see where this is going. He's taking a very long time to figure out what to do. I think it's strange, because it seems pretty obvious what to do here, but that's just me. That's just me. For myself, Purgatrio. That works too. Okay, Purgatrio is cool. I always like Purgatrio. It reminds me of a certain Pokemon. But this won't work, my man, because Avermax should just make himself bigger than Purgatrio. That's kind of his whole shtick. I'm actually kind of curious what this face down is. I don't remember Invoked having a lot of traps. I know they have a trap. What's it called again? I don't remember off the top of my head. It's the one that lets him summon out a bunch of the fusions, if I'm not mistaken. But that's all I remember. But yeah, Purgatrio normally can attack like everything I've got. But because of Avermax, he can only attack Avermax. He's the protector. He's the protector, and my opponent's spirit is broken. Alright, well, I hate to call that a win, but it is a very casual deck today. So, and I'm just going to take the wins that I get today, you know. But tomorrow's deck's going to be way more competitive, and, you know, we can be more stringy with that one. Stringy, stingy, bleh. Regardless, let's go for the end screen time, and, you know, we'll talk about this deck a bit more. Alrighty, everybody, the family ties that bind us together went 2-1, which is a lot better than I was expecting. I was expecting, like, maybe one win. When I got that first one, I was like, okay, we got a win. That's what I was expecting. I was hoping for a win, and we got it. And now we got 2 wins today. I mean, it's a very silly deck. It's got some potential power to it. There's some really neat things it can do with it, like Anchor Drill, got the Harvester, going into all these infinitrack things. Good old River Stormer, Earth Slicer, Infinity Boy, all that good stuff. This isn't Infinity, he's over here. But, you know, combine that with the Kuribohs, with freaking Orion, the Battle King, Musician King. We got to show off, like, a lot of what this deck is trying to do, and it's very silly. It's a very silly deck. If you just want a fun, casual time, this deck will work just fine for you. It's very silly, but it's a good laugh for you. It's a good laugh. It puts a smile in my heart. So, I liked it. I hope everybody liked it too. If you did like it, hit the like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't to the channel just yet. And don't forget, 100 Days Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going on for another 94 days. And if you'll have any deck suggestions, leave them in the comments. If you have a whole deck list, deliver it to the Discord. YouTube likes to block those out for some reason. I don't know why. But here's the deck list in case y'all are curious as to what we were putting in here. I'll briefly bring out who is what or whatever. Not going to go into detail, but here's what we're playing today. We got ourselves one copy of Ghost Beef and one Mallet Turkey, because the holidays are important to family. We got one Orion the Battle King, which is somewhere between my mom and my sister, one or the other. We have one copy of infinitrack Tunneler, two infinitrack Road Rollers, one Crab Crane, three Boodle Dozers. We have the legendary Fisherman here, who's well, he represents the whole family. We all like to fish to one degree or another, but also just my pops. Also with the infinitracks too. Two copies of Trencher, three Anchor Drill, three Harvester, one each of the kuribohs, being Kuriboh, Bay, Boo, Bob, Bee, and Kuriborn. Well, that's me. We got ourselves, well, this is my brother-in-law, the rest is me. Anyway, we got Instant Fusion, which brings out the Musician King. We have our 1-for-1, the triple 5-star Twilight, Monsterborn, Scapegoat, which is my niece and nephews. Although I have 5 of them now, so it doesn't really work as well, but, you know, that's what it is. 3 Heavy Forward, 2 Outrigger Extension, 3 copies Crackdown. For extra deck, we have 1 Goliath, 1 Masquerena, we have Proxy Dragon, Cleefort Genius, Steel Star Regulator, which probably could have been replaced with Underworld Goddess, but whatever. 1 Infinitrack Fortress Megaclops, 1 Unchained Abomination, 1 Avermax. We have Cyber Dragon Nova, 2 River Stormers, 1 Infinity Dragon, 1 Mountain Smasher, 1 Earth Slicer, and our really badly messed up Musician King. As for the side deck, I considered Curve Babylon in the deck as well. But we have enough level 5, so it's not a big problem. And to represent all of you at home, of course, we could have also put in like the Live Twins. Definitely would have represented everybody at home, for certain. I also considered like Lionheart. Originally, he was in this deck as like a closer sort of thing, but he doesn't happen very often, so I just went ahead and took him out. Yeah, like Evil Twin, Live Twins are a good thing to be putting in here as well, just to represent, you know, everybody at home, my community. That's what you guys are. You are these. You are that. And also there's Multiply, but again, that's just like more Kuriboh and focus on him. But we'll do like full-on Kuriboh style later in the 100 days, 100%. Regardless, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Your boy Memphis signing out. Next time on 100 days, we're getting serious. You know, the first 6 days were pretty calm and chill. Tomorrow's gonna be a bruiser of a deck, and I hope to see you guys there. So, till next time, y'all stay safe and happy. You have a good one. Take care.